All right, if you don't already have your notes out, go ahead and get your notes open and write down today's I can sentence. I can divide with fractions. Okay, I can divide with fractions. So this is a new topic, 6th grade math. Some of your 5th grade teachers might have touched on it, but this is our big hitter for fractions with 6th grade, dividing with fractions. All right, let's dig in this with an example. Example number 1. Let's say we have 2/3 divided by 4/5. Okay? Here's the rule. We never, ever, 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 in the history of everness, we never divide with fractions. Ever. It's not allowed. We don't like to do it. We don't have to do it. You should never do it. So you're actually never going to divide with fractions. Here's what you're going to do instead. You're going to do something called keep, change, flip. We are going to keep the first fraction the same. Keep it as 2/3. We are going to change the division symbol to multiplication. And we are going to flip the second fraction upside down. So it was 4/5. Now let's flip it and make it 5/4. And now you should be really happy because this is now multiplying. And multiplying we love. We just multiply straight across. 2 times 5 is 10, and 3 times 4 is 12. And the only thing left to do now is check to see if you can simplify. You can. You can divide these both by 2 and get your final answer of 5/6. That's it. It's just like multiplying with fractions, except for that first part where you keep the first fraction the same, you change the division to multiplication, and you flip the last fraction upside down. Keep, change, flip. That's it. That's all it is, guys. Let's look at another one. Example number 2. Let's do 3/5 times 4. Oh, not times. What am I thinking? Crazy. Divided by 4. Okay, now, this is a no-no. No. We cannot have a fraction and a whole number. We don't want it. So we have to change our fraction or our whole number to a fraction. So bring down your 3/5 because it's okay and you're dividing. But 4, make it a fraction. And we do that by putting a 1 under it. Think Beyonce, put a ring on it. Take your 4 and put a 1 under it. Now we have to do keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. So underneath these, we're going to keep the first one, 3/5. We're going to change our dividing to multiplying. And we're going to flip that other fraction. So instead of 4/1, it's now going to be 1/4. So now we just multiply straight across. 3 times 1 is 3. 5 times 4 is 20. Check to see if you can simplify, and you cannot. So we're stopping there. That's our answer, 3/20. 3/5 divided by 4 equals 3/20. Example number 3. Let's step this up. 2 1/3 divided by 4/7. Okay, are you seeing the no-no? There's a no-no here. This is the no-no. You are not allowed to have a mixed number and a fraction. We want a fraction divided by a fraction. Well, 4/7 is okay, but 2 1/3 is a mixed number. So we have to change it and make it a fraction. So big bottom, big times the bottom. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So it becomes 7/3. 2 1/3 is the same thing as 7/3. All right, now we have a fraction divided by a fraction. we're good to go. Keep, change, flip. And when you're doing quizzes or tests, or you're doing this on assessment, you should write the K, C, and F above there so you remember. It signals your brain. It does something in there in your brain. It helps you remember it. All right, keep the first one, 7/3. Change the dividing to multiplying. Flip the last one. So now it is 7/4. And now we like it. We can multiply. Multiply straight across. 7 times 7 is 49. And 3 times 4 is 12. Are you seeing the problem? This is an improper fraction. It's a little bit of Stewie going on here. Big head, little body. Cannot have it. So we have to change this into a mixed number. How many times can 12 go into 49? Well, think of your 12s. I'm going to do them over here to the side. 12 times 1, 12 times 2, 12 times 3, 12 times 4, 12 times 5. Look at that. 49. I can get 4 whole 12s out of 49. 4 times 12 is 48, so I'm taking away 48 little pieces. 49 pieces minus 48 pieces leaves me 1 piece, and I'm working in 12ths. So my final answer is 4 and 1/12, and then we're done. Okay, you try this one. Sample number 4. Let's do 6 divided by 3/5. Pause the video. Do it on your own. When you're done, hit play and see if you got it right. Okay, so you should have got your answer by now, so let's see how you did. All right, you should see the no-no. This is a no-no. We cannot have a whole number in a fraction. We want a fraction divided by a fraction. 3/5 is fine, so it stays the same. But 6 needs to become a fraction. To make a whole number a fraction, we put a 1 under it. So 6/1. All right, now we can do our stuff, our keep, change, flip, because it's dividing, and we should never, ever divide. Never. Okay, so let's go ahead. Keep, change, flip. Let's keep our first one, 6/1. Change your dividing to multiplying. Flip the next one, so it's now 5/3. We like this because now we get to multiply straight across. 6 times 5 is 30. Over 1 times 3 is 3. All right, can we simplify this? There's a couple things we could do. All right, you could go, big head, little body. Can't have that. So we could do, how many 3s can I take out of 30? 3 goes into 30 10 whole times. And 3 times 10 is 30, so that's like I'm taking all the pieces away. So my final answer is 10. Or you could think about it this way. You could go, I think I can simplify this. These both can be divided by 3. So 30 divided by 3 is 10, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 10/1 is just the whole number 10. Same answer. Because if it's 10/1, that's the whole number 10, just like if we had to make, up here, when we had to make the 6 into a fraction, we did 6/1, okay? So our answer is 10. Okay, now, last thing I want to mark, or point out to you. When you're showing your work on a quiz or a test or your activities, your practice, I should see all of this. I should see the original problem. I should see you turning it into 2 fractions if that's a needed thing. I should see a separate time after you do the keep, change, flip. I should see your original answer, and then if you have to simplify or change it, I should see the completed answer. You have to show all of these things. Telling me you're doing it in your head is not acceptable. So I'm going to have you do your quick check now, and you better make sure you're doing all the work. Don't cut any corners. When you try to cut things out, Like people try to go skip this part and then they make mistakes. So don't do that. All right, get on Schoology. Start your quick check quiz now.